Hold on, I'm having a malfunction here of some type. There we go. All right, so let's see how long my live stream stays working before I get kicked off my own live, because that never happened before. In any case, good morning. I hope everyone's doing well. This is going to be a relatively quick live stream because I'm headed from one meeting to the other. And, okay, is this girl crossing or... Hold on, waiting for a pedestrian. At least she's moving. She's not sitting there thinking about things like a cat. All right. So, have you noticed that what we're seeing on the universities right now is the same shit we saw in 2020. It's the same shit we saw in 2016 and in 2012 and 2008. Since 2008, we've seen the same bullshit. So let me explain. When Bush finished the second term, we were in the middle of two wars. And hey, good morning. Good morning, Johnny. Celtic Grandma, good morning. And in 2008, I think, was the first time. Remember Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Walmart, Occupy whatever the hell they felt like they needed to occupy. We will disrupt the man. And what was their symbol? Hey, good morning, Royal Linus, soggy Southern Arkansas. Hey, Daryl. Their symbol was the fist, right? Which has been the symbol of Marxism since like the 1950s. So here we are. And so 2008, I remember because I was working in Houston at the time, and in 2012, and both elections, I was telling my employees, don't wear company shirts, don't, you have your ID card, you usually hang around your neck, don't hide them in your pocket or in your purse, no company IDs. If you're wearing a suit, that's fine. I told everyone, men and women included, you can wear khakis, and hey, dog walker, welcome. You can wear khakis or slacks. I told the ladies, hey, Canadian, don't have to wear dresses, no high heels. I want you to be mobile, and I want you to be discreet. If you have to go downtown during the Occupy, I need to know as the manager so that if something happened, I know where you were supposed to be and I can come get you, right? The common sense. And I told everyone, just if you don't have to be there, don't go downtown, don't go to the city until the stupids leave. And then it happened again in 2012. So we had Occupy both terms when Obama was in office. Then in 2016 is when we really saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's when we saw, hey, Shorty, we saw Antifa for the first time, like really as an entity. And they did the same thing. They basically clogged shit up, blocked roads, and did dumb shit. Then came, and then that was when Trump got elected, and they all had a meltdown because Trump got elected, and they screamed in the streets. Then in 2020, Black Lives Matter. But everyone who kept getting arrested in Black Lives Matter were like people from Seattle and Portland. It was really weird. And here we are, 2024. So the last 5 presidential elections, pretty much going back to when Bush left office, have repeated this pattern of Occupy Wall Street became it was Occupy Wall Street twice, then it became Antifa, then it became Black Lives Matter, and now it's Free Palestine. Now, whether you're for or against the war, personally, we've got enough shit going on in our country. We don't need to be in shooting wars somewhere else. On the flip side, I understand why you don't want other countries run amok either. It is, well, Prepper Book Club, that's where I'm going with this, is what the hell? It's the same playbook being used over and over. This is a Saul Alinsky communist Marxist playbook. This is how you disrupt, you create divisions over wealth, divisions over race, division over religion, divisions over class, until you basically screw up the country. And that's what we're seeing. Think about it. What was Occupy about? Divisions over wealth. Black Lives Matter, divisions over race. Free Palestine, now it's religion. And that really gets hairy, because people, when they dig into a religion, it can get really bad. We need to stop being the hall monitor for the world. No, agree, Johnny. We need to stop taking care of everyone else's shit. Especially when we're at home. You know, we sent 60 billion to Ukraine. And granted, I'm not a fan of Putin. He doesn't need to be running around Europe and shit. But do you know what we could do with 60 billion for our veterans right now, today? You know, I was having beer the other night with guys who are still telling me I've been out 10 years from OIF, and he still has nightmares every now and then, right? They're battling this shit. Imagine how we could help rehab, the money we could put toward drug addiction. Hell, let's make housing more affordable so young families can buy their first home. And it just seems like we're getting the same playbook. Oh God, yeah, book club, exactly. You could convert any remaining coal-fired, hey random dude, any remaining coal-fired plants to natural gas, right? And they're trying to avoid natural gas, but natural gas, going from coal to natural gas, both of which we have here in the US, would actually reduce carbon emissions by 40%, almost out of the gate. So why not do that now while we figure out the solar and the nuclear and all the other shit? But they won't do that, right? Because that makes sense. No, let's piss everyone off at each other. And while we're all fighting, they steal our shit. What you're seeing in the universities now should not surprise anyone. I know it doesn't surprise us, right? Whether you're a little left or a little right, you kind of saw this coming. It was 60 billion, hell, 2 billion, you could build a proper border wall. And what's funny, Mexico's now complaining Canadians and Americans are moving to Mexico and causing inflation. So now Mexico has an immigration problem. And it's like, this is just funny. Like, we've basically screwed up North America. Particulates actually lets more heat reach the surface. Yeah. And yeah, to your point, we can do, there are other things we can do that are easy conversions that will have an immediate effect on the reduction of, you know, environmental issues. It'll reduce inflation. It'll help people. But we're not doing it. We have resources here. But no, we're burning gas into the atmosphere in Texas and New Mexico because the pipelines aren't built. We can't send it anywhere. And they can't store it for only so long, so they have to burn it. We burned enough gas, natural gas last year, to light up New York City for a year. But no, now we've got riots in the universities. So Congress people have just hit several of the universities with a Title, I think it's a Title VI violation, saying that civil rights and the right to education goes both ways, and by not controlling your campuses, you're violating the civil rights of Jewish students or whatever other people were getting harassed, because now they can't go to school. And within a week, Columbia University is like, oh, NYPD, come and get the protesters out. They didn't do that because it was the right thing to do. I call it bullshit. They did it because they were about to get sued for a Title VI violation. And they were going to lose millions of dollars. As it is, a lot of big donors to the universities have pulled their funding. And then, of course, then you have the other extreme, right? You have Texas, where they said on the speakers, hey, everyone get out of the building. Then the cops went in to remove them, and they threw stuff at the cops. So they flashbanged the entire first floor of one of the buildings in Austin. They threw flashbangs in all four corners and then threw tear gas. And then the cops went in with their masks and dragged everyone out. And then they all went to jail. And then anyone who was not A student who was in the protest on campus was charged with a felony trespass of a university with intent to cause harm or some shit like that. And the students were all suspended and lost scholarships. That's how you do it. Consequences. We have a whole group of people who have never lived the consequences. Hey, Mrs. Metal. Hey, Farmer. What's going on? Who have never lived the consequences of their shit. Most of us grew up in a generation, if I went and told someone's wife something rude, he'd punch me in the mouth if he could get close enough. Do you know why? Consequences. So all these students are shocked. They're like, oh, well, I voted for this, and then now they're ugly to me. Well, yeah. Stupid protesters didn't take. I don't know what they took. Random, I don't know if they had masks, but the flashbang would have probably knocked the mask off their head. Yeah, the mask will protect from the spray, but it will not protect from the boom that goes on when the flashbangs go off. And they had state troopers, they had the college cops, they had the sheriff. And then I heard rumors, I couldn't find the footage, that the National Guard loaned a couple of LMTVs and they loaded the idiots into the 2.5-ton trucks and drove them to the police station so they could drive them off in bulk. Like bulk idiots, be gone. Which is the way you do it. And now the university's actually having a graduation. If I was paying $80,000 a year for my kid to go to Columbia, and now, and you know, I'm not Jewish and I'm not a Palestinian, right? I don't have a dog in the race ethnically. But if I was paying that much money or using scholarship for my kid to get an education, and now they have to go remote because assholes are allowed to run the college, I'd be pissed. I would tell my kid, you are transferring or you're going to be cut off. Take your pick, but I'm not paying for that shit. And honestly, as a guy who graduated, and I graduated from one of the Big East schools, right? So it's a reputable college, university, right? It was legit, but it wasn't Ivy League. But hey, Joe, Chow Hall today. Shoving match over milk. Jeez. Joe having exciting mornings there. Yeah, but honestly, if you're good at what you do, you can have a degree from Harvard, and if you don't know how to function in society, your degree is worthless. It's worthless, right? You get an art degree and you understand how the business of art works, you can make a killing. It all depends on the individual, right? You get a degree of, I don't know, say something oddball, African American studies, art, history. But then as a history major, you write books that are good, you can make money. You can make a living. It's all a question of what you do with your degree. And honestly, when I've done recruiting for my company, I look to see, okay, you have the requirements, and off you go. Oh, hold on, that. I couldn't see who that was. But 2024 ain't looking too hot. No, 2024 is not looking too hot. But folks, look, what we have in the university, Palestine. But do they really work with a group of people who are punching kids who have nothing to do with it? It's going to fist fight with the protesters, who then, I'm hearing the county judge may dismiss it on the grounds that it was self-defense. I don't know. It's just some weird Texas shit going on with that. But problem in the Matrix. We do. Oh, we have. Did I glitch out again? Am I back or what are we doing here? Buffer? No. So anyway, yeah, this is the same nonsense. Now, if you do have a kid in college, obviously a lot of colleges are seeing this. So make sure your college kids have hey, N7, you're welcome. Make sure your college kids have an emergency bag. Make sure they have a place to go if something pops off so that they are not caught off guard. Make sure they have food in their room. There's so many speed freaks in this place. It's not funny. Oh, no. Because point, because our country take over. That just sucks. Guys, we know the drill. And just pay attention to what's going on. This is not a surprise. This is what the universities created all by themselves through their arrogance and their own stupidity. And now there's a consequence and they're freaking out about it. So you guys take care. She's dead, Jim. All right, guys, you be good, be safe, and I will see you on the next one.